presentation, and then we're actually going to go into the program and do a demonstration of seller side and then the buyer side and show you how the connection feature works.
So she's representing the seller and I'm the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the main part of the information session today will just be geared towards the buyer side on these project files. So just a few things. All of you are very familiar with e-Conveyance. We always want to make your job easier, save you time, all of that. So there's a few key things that you'll see in the program that will even make you save more time and benefit you in the end. So the seller side in e-Conveyance basically fills out all of their information for their development. And when you connect on that file, it'll automatically populate all that information into your file. So that would hopefully mean for less revisions on documents, less phone calls, less faxes, back and forth between each side. So we'll be able to show you that once we're in the program. And of course, we always want to help with communication. So there are messages that you can send in the program. I'm not sure if some of you are familiar with sending those, but they're instant. You can send your documents to and from the seller side to the buyer side and back and forth within the program, so it just makes it a lot more quicker and smoother. So this is just a comparison sheet to show you on a regular file. You would start with opening up the file, you connect with the other side, do your title search, your import. So these steps you would follow, doing your buyer information, the adjustments, mortgage, and then you would go ahead and generate your documents and deliver it to the other side. On a project file, we try and cut that down in half. So you wait. Once the seller side has entered in all of their project information, they will send you a connection request. Once you accept that connection request, it will actually open up your buyer file. So you enter in your file number, same steps. You can search the title of the property. That's the strata lot that you're working for. You don't need to import that information because the parent property has already been imported on the seller side. So we'll be able to show you that once we get in there. Then you just enter your buyer information, and then if there's a mortgage, generate your documents and deliver to the other side. So we try and cut those steps down in half. So now we'll just go right into e-Conveyance. And again, I'm going to be representing the seller side. So I'm going to go into a project file that I've already worked on. So to show you what it looks like, have any of you been in and looked at projects besides Vera? Like opened up a file? So project is a new feature in e-Conveyance so that you can enter in your full development. So you can see here, it looks similar to a regular file, but we've spread it out a little different. So the top part here is a master file, which is kind of your general file over everything over the development. And then there's a section down here for all lots rapid entry. This basically, I'll just click on one of these to show you. It's kind of a spreadsheet so you can keep track of all of the information over all the lots. So you can enter it in kind of at a rapid pace instead of going into each file and then entering that information. So it's a lot quicker. Same with like dates, for example. On developments, you'll have quite a few completions on that same date. They can enter that information over all those applicable lots instead of one at a time. So it just speeds up the data entry. So the master file will also have a project details tab, and I'll just click on this to show it to you. This is where they're going to build their information package, which they will in turn deliver to you. So it just speeds up a lot of the delivery of information, so you don't have to wait for the info pack, wait to do your adjustments, all of that. You can actually get this information directly from the seller side. So I'm going to go ahead and start by sending my connection request over to Simone. So there's a screen in here that the seller side is able to enter the buyer's lawyer. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my buyer lawyer information for Simone. And your lawyer is Mr. Student. And add. And so that's one of the major differences is that of the buyer side sending the connection request, the seller side will send it. So you can see here the little E, of course, that means that they're an e-Conveyance member, so you know that they can connect with you on a file. They're just going to highlight that, and I'm going to send my connection request. I'll just let it send there. So now that I've got my little exclamation mark there, that means that I've sent my connection request. So now I just wait for the other side to connect with me.
Let me refresh my page. And I can see that I already have a file connection notification, so I'm going to pop into that. Scroll down to the bottom where project files are listed, and I can see that a connection request has been sent to me, and I'm going to accept that connection request. And right away it pops into, and this is a little bit different for those of you who use connections when we first brought it out. It didn't pop into the actual file right away, and now it does. So that's an added feature. I'm going to name mine.
Opens up your file right away.
Give it my file number and accept the connection.
So now I'm going to refresh, and I am able to see that now I am connected with Simone. So all the information that I've entered in my file, she should already have. So now you can go ahead.
So I, meanwhile, this file opened up. I named it info session number 1, and all the information that Jamie had put into her file ahead of time is already in here for me. So all the information in the transactions tab is put in, the contract date, completion, adjustment, possession, etc. The lawyer's information, all that information is already put into the program. Deposits is put into the program too from the information that Jamie has put in. Because it pops you right into the transaction tab, I can go back and look at the title that was imported along with the file. This is the parent property title search to this piece of property. You can see that I can print a copy from my file and save a copy, but there's no import to file section there as there usually is.
All of those charges have already been imported, like the mortgages or any modifications, so they'll already be in your buyer file.
Yeah. But I would want to pull a title search for my property.
Of that strata lot.
Yeah, of that strata lot. So I'm going to put in my PID number, and I'm going to search, just like you normally would. If I want to be assured that there's no further judgments, names, or whatever on title, I'm going to pop into that title, and I'm going to take a look at it and compare and make sure that it's okay. Again, you can print a copy, save a copy to your file, but you can't import a copy. And that's just to prevent you from overwriting all the information that's already been imported for you.
What if you don't like the way they set out things? For some people, for some reason, still leave in the language together with unit and title and whatever. What if you don't like
Prefer not to have that?
Because that language forces a schedule.
Forces a schedule.
And it's not needed.
Yeah, and it's not needed. It's not necessary, but some people still think it is necessary and they prefer to see it. So you can adjust the transfer documents. You can
Or what I would
edit
just
that,
do is I would just send them a message saying, hey, do you mind removing that? Because I don't want to have a schedule in my Form A.
Yeah.
And they can do it on their side,
So they're the
or
only
just
ones
like
to
that.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the program, yeah.
Just because that will go over 300 lots as opposed to just one. So if it's just that specific, I would just send them a message and ask her to delete it or just modify the transfer outside. Most of the time, you would hope that they would import it without that information, of course. Do many of you send messages in the program? No? Very instant. You can print them all like emails, so it's related exactly like right to the file. So all I need to do.
Don't reply back.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Most people do not reply back.
Oh, really? Really? Okay. Yeah, no. Just saying.
But you know what? A lot of people don't reply back to ordinary emails, right? Do you get that? I mean, I send out tons of emails, and like, I kind of think it's like when people are talking to you, like, you know, I'm standing in front of you, I'm talking to you, you would answer me normally, right? So you send an email, and you kind of figure that people should reply, whether it's no or yes or whatever.
Or thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Something that you know it.
Yeah.
So I just send a message to you.
Yeah, and now I can get it instantly like that. And I can always just go ahead and just reply, okay, will do,
How do you print that?
Thanks. This little post At the top, you can click print
Oh,
message.
there, 'cause
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
then,
same as in the other program.
yeah.
Could you see whether or not someone's ignoring you, whether or not they've opened the message or not?
well, it will say on red.
It'll say,
They can't see it without opening it, right?
Exactly. So now that I've opened it, even if I just close out of it, oh, I didn't read it. It would say red.
I know you read my email.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, I know you did.
Yeah, so, then you would proceed with your file after you took a look at the title search. The seller's information, again, has already been put in the program by the seller's lawyer. The buyer's information, I'm going to put in just like you normally would.
And of course, you can see that the title that Simone had searched, I now have as well. So, of course, with the connections, you get both files. Because mostly on the developer side, you're not going to search all 300 strata lots. So this way, it just keeps it nice and simple, right direct into the file.
Yeah, and I've just added my buyer's information, and Jamie should actually get a notification now
Right,
that
on the alert side,
I
file
will change the
changes.
information in the file. But
But what
anytime you
happens
make,
with that, though? That comes up every single time you change anything in that file.
Exactly.
On one file I did, I
Mhm.
got like 7 or 8 notifications.
Mhm.
yeah. And it's just to make you aware,
Yeah.
because you're connected, right? You want to make sure, like, if you've changed something in there that the other side should be aware of, just like when you're doing it as a paper file, if you make any adjustments that the other side should be aware of, you would pick up the phone, you would fax, you would say, hey, right? So, and it works the same way, except you don't have to pick up the phone, you don't have to fax, it's an instant notification to the other side.
Mhm.
But the person doing the project is maybe inundated with messages.
And that's what happens. That's
Well, it
what
doesn't-
happens. I
yeah.
have 7 on one file, and I'm like, okay, just make the change and just sending one notice that you made a change
Mhm.
to the file.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it doesn't group them all
No,
together,
it
it lets you know, because
Of
you
every
may
single
not,
change,
yeah.
Yeah.
You may not make the changes all at one time. You may be making the changes throughout the day for whatever reason that you have. That
Right.
the person is
Mhm.
making a change in the morning for whatever reason, then she gets further information. She makes another change in the afternoon, whatever. So you need to be aware of the changes that have been made.
Mhm.
So you put in your buyer's information, the property screen has already been, again, imported. All this information is done for you.
So this is all the information that the seller side has entered in.
Yeah.
Are there all lots? So I've done all of the, basically all the data entry, and I'm sure Vera can speak to that. You spend a lot of time entering data.
Yeah.
And then it just benefits you on the other side, because you can just review, of course,
Mhm.
the information that's been entered. And if there are any issues that arise, you know, pick up the phone or send a message, or, you know.
An question,
Yeah.
does that mean they inputted the GST, the BCTT and everything?
They have done that, but you have.
That's a great part of what they've done?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what they've done. They put in the purchase price, they've done anything that you see third grade out a little bit,
Okay.
that's what they've done.
Mhm.
You are able to determine whether or not your client is, can apply for the GST rebate or not by
Okay.
clicking on it, and then
Yeah.
same thing with the BCTT.
And then the BCTT is what you have to do as well.
Yeah, yeah. PTT, you would calculate that yourself. Extras and options are in the program from the,
I've added them in.
lawyer. Yeah,
Mhm.
as well.
See, I still am against that one right there. I was
The
so
extras and
wrong.
options?
Absolutely wrong.
And why is that?
It's added into the purchase price, it should not be separate.
Well,
It depends on the development.
I know
We
it
get
does.
them all
I
over the
know,
place,
yeah.
totally, yeah,
But it forms part of the fair market value.
yeah.
but it depends on which law firm you're going to.
Oh, I know.
Like, there's a couple of firms that we've been at, and
Yeah.
they absolutely do it the way you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and it is a part of the
Firms
purchase
that-
price, fair market value,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
This is just to show them that they have selected the appliance package. So,
And the seller's lawyer can adjust,
Yeah.
they have options to whether the extras and options form part of the purchase price, don't form part of the purchase price, are they going to be shown on the statement of adjustments, are they not going to be shown? There's various options that they can choose depending on the project they're working on.
so they've got that flexibility on their side, which would relate to
Yeah.
the buyer side as well. So for this example, we're showing the extras and options as a separate item.
Yeah. And CPT is based on,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, you have to do.
I agree with you, but,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, when you buy a car, you get
Yeah.
all your options, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the total
The
purchase.
total, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. that's
So
good.
then the first question would be, on the project for me would be is if they do it this way, that they do.
That's if
I
you're
would
buying
accept
it?
it.
Yeah.
Well, typically we are, there's so many firms that actually really do the big projects on the seller's end of it.
Yeah.
They tend to be the same. So the majority of your people perhaps will be the buyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear ya.
So do you mean you wouldn't, your firm
I
wouldn't
wouldn't consider
represent?
that, yeah.
Your firm would not represent the buyer?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
You personally would-
I would, enter into that.
Enter it like that, yeah.
I would just wouldn't, accept her invitation. I'd say no.
So if it says credit on the buyer's statement of adjustment for 10 grand, you wouldn't, we'd do it reduction on the purchase price.
I'll just decide, if it's an option that they purchase, not a decorating allowance. If they do the floors and everything else that they do, that they put on as extra, it's forms part of the purchase price.
I would do that instead of trying to do it that way, though.
And actually, we had two of them, didn't we? We had two of them, I'm not gonna call them out right now. But we just had two different firms that said, no, they have to be separate, and I said, screw you, I'm not gonna do it.
And it would,
I just itemized it in the statement of adjustment, but
Yeah.
I'm still happy, and just put it under the purchase price law. I broke it down, but I wasn't gonna do that.
But that's part of a normal conversation that you would have, like she would tell you that you need to
Program or
adjust it
not.
this way, outside the program. And then you would argue back that, no, I'm going to do it this way. So that is something that you would normally do, so
Yeah.
anyway, that's right. You would normally do that anyway, so that, you had to come to some sort of agreement.
Yeah.
Your lawyers had to come to some sort of agreement, irrespective.
Now, every time you make a change as a buyer, she's gonna be notified.
Yes, right.
And then she goes, holy crap, this is wrong, I have to change my info package, what you normally do, and she's gonna do for me. And then when you put on your seller end of it, you have to notify everybody in your package,
Whatever I've altered, yeah.
everyone
If
gets
it's all of the lots, everybody would be notified.
Oh,
If
okay.
it's just her specifically, then she would just be notified.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And just speaking of the information package, of course, usually you would either get that by email or by fax when you're doing buyer side or a development. So to show you during connection, I can just quickly go in and deliver this over to Simone's side. So once you've generated the info pack, I've got one there. I'll send over my notice of completion as well, and I can just go ahead and deliver these. And it'll ask you which lots you want to deliver these over. So I could send them all, like, over all of them at once, or I'm just going to send them over to my one individual lot, deliver the documents, and send. And now documents are available for pickup on her side, so she should get a notification.
And I've got a message saying that the document's available for pickup. And I can tell that, again, you're talking about read or unread, there's a little unread button that Jamie has not read that message yet. And so I'm gonna go take a look at my pickups and deliveries tab. And here's my documents that Jamie sent, so I'm gonna open them up. And there's my information sheet.
And if I go into my pickups and deliveries tab as well, I can see when I sent it and when she's opened it. So no more of this, I didn't get your info pack, please send it again.
I found the majority of people
Yeah.
do not reuse that.
No,
Like when they send documents, even like once they're signed,
Yeah.
you can send them this way and you can actually deliver your documents. I would probably say nobody that I
does that?
does that.
There's a lot of awareness that we're trying to do around
Yeah.
connections.
Yeah.
This kind of being our start point right now, because we want a lot of people, we're not even sure who uses it, honestly,
Yeah.
because we can't really tell.
Right.
So the more people that we inform of this, would just even make your job easier, or both of your guys. Like if you could really deliver your documents that quick, you don't have to send it
And
to
I
fax
got
machine
phone
or
calls
wait.
from before, so that, oh, I haven't received your documents. And I'm like, I sent them
Exactly.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
People just don't know
Yeah.
where to go yet. So we're working on that just as a company standpoint. We're going to be
Yeah.
doing more awareness around connections.
Why not use technology?
Well, they
to help you?
don't
Why not use it?
Some of us don't use physical.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they really don't.
A lot of people, I think almost a lot of our members don't, just because there's so many new things that go on in the program. If you've been using it for 6 years, every year we're throwing in something
Yeah.
new. So unless we're doing something like this, how do you guys know, really?
Yeah, and plus the beta tag just came off Connections just in February.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been good to go since then. We've been updating it and working on it, you know, since it came out, which was 2.5 years ago, I think, something like that. So, yeah, so it's really, I think it's an amazing feature of the program, and really handy, especially the instant messaging feature, so.
An instant delivery of documents.
We
Like,
want
I used
people
to have to
to-
wait at the
yeah.
fax machine for
I
that.
know.
It's not coming
Yeah.
through. This
Yeah.
you know, and plus you know it's been received
Mhm.
and picked up.
And so here's my notification that I have a file
Mhm.
that was changed. Yeah,
Okay, well, that's what I just wanted to show there about the delivery of
yeah,
the information package.
yeah. And so then I would, same thing, when I want to deliver documents to Jamie, I'm going to choose a new document. In the normal way, I'm not gonna go through all these parameters before.
You have different notes under those, under your parameters, is that something new? When you just generated your skin color adjustment?
Yeah.
You had 3 prompts there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just been added.
When?
A while ago.
When?
Is this a grandparented transaction? A couple of weeks ago.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I've done documents.
You know why? Because you guys have a customized,
Oh,
illustration.
yeah.
You have your own, yeah.
I didn't see.
But that's why it's not.
If you use
Yeah.
the generic version,
Yeah.
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 So what are we supposed to do?
Ah.
We just use our movie? All right. Well, hell, I just walked through.
No, I know, yeah. That's what, yeah. So then we'll have the questions for the, what's it called,
Yeah.
the BCTG rebate or anything like that as well. You're gonna have all that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I'm delivering documents now to Jamie, the regular package of buyer-seller documents, so I'm gonna send those to her. Documents are now available for pickup. The date and time that documents are picked up will be noted on the pickup for delivery now. Okay.
You go over to your. There we go. Documents on, 5 documents, so I'll have my seller documents. So you can open them up individually, I can download them all and save them, or open them and save them, however you want. A lot of flexibility. And then I can just close that, and I believe if I refresh, it will save. And then download them. So picked up at, so again, I'm aware, and on the buyer side, you're also aware. No, I don't know if the messages have been picked up on the pickup and delivery tab.
When you pick up, does it go to your finalized tab?
It goes to document pickups and delivery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I can see that document that is delivered to Jamie and to her lawyer, Scott Parker.
And I get a message, yeah, documents are available for pickup. So you get messages on the alerts tab here, and this could be in any file that you're working on. If you're in the specific file, it'll just tell you, of course, how many messages you have and the file changes in that specific file.
Yeah, you guys ever thought about making the alerts tab a little larger?
Yeah, that's brand new. It is
Yeah.
quite small.
Do you think this should have bigger printing maybe?
Yeah,
Bigger
the
font?
yellow,
Red,
Yeah.
black and
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
Something more alert.
Just to say,
That's good feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I never actually noticed it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. You do? Yeah. That's because you use this section already.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
why you
Yeah.
written my messages, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you get anywhere with it,
Yeah.
don't use it yet.
Yeah. Well, hopefully people will start, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do more around.
Because I know when I'm training new users, I definitely go over connections with people and let them know how it works. Older users, like people who have used the program for a while, not old people, but, and they're not as aware because we have a ticker tape that, usually if we have something to tell you, it's up here.
Mhm.
But even with that scrolling constantly, we find people don't really see that either. And mostly because you're, trying to get your documents out, you're busy, you're working, and you just focus in
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, see?
Well, the sticker, I know, because it moves.
Yeah, because it's.
No, what did I just say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it like, it's just
It's
going
like
down.
that with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a way, people would like to see different notifications about changing the program? What's the best method to get that across to users? We've got the ticker tape there, you do some blog posts, if that's like.
And even on the,
preferred.
What's your home, didn't you guys just have to get your homepage right here?
that would be where the ticker tape is. Obviously, we just don't have anything to post right
It's on the
now.
homepage, or is it, oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's usually where it is.
It's not just the homepage.
Oh, where would our older posts be?
The older post will reside on your blog.
Ah.
On
That's a good one, yeah. So if you're wanting to look at something that was posted like a couple weeks ago, and if it's already off, where do you go?
Yeah, and typically anything that's on the ticker, is posted to the blog at the same time. And that's kind of our database of all past changes.
Mm-hmm.
And you pretty well go to roll every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks you can do
Something new.
small changes.
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while there's a bigger change, like a connection feature coming in, or an information form that should come out. So there's some different things that we're constantly working on that
Mm-hmm.
to make your experience within Conveyance so aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Just a matter of trying to get that point across.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I know on our login page, we try and post any information just kind of here to keep you up to date. So yeah, that's good feedback. We're definitely, we're always looking for feedback.
And you guys
on
know
what
where
we
to
can
send
do
the
better.
feedback to us, right? So up at the top here, you pop open that email that goes to our helpful desk. So if you have anything like that, like, it would be really helpful if that alert thing was in like bigger fonts or something like that. Like we take into consideration all those kinds of messages to us, because we do, you're our users. You guys are the
The
ones
program's
that.
for you guys,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. So we do take what you say seriously.
Maybe if you want the alert to flash in yellow and so you can
Yeah. That might be a little too high.
You never do anything.
Yeah. We would take it into consideration, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So do you guys have any other questions around the buyer side of projects? Like, did you see, I guess, how we kind of pointed out in the PowerPoint, the different steps when receiving the connection request as opposed to being the one to send it?
Yeah, so the first step, I guess, would be to call the seller's lawyer like you'd normally do and just find out, is this file that's being done in Conveyance? And then once that's determined, then you wait for the connection request from the seller's lawyer.
But my only fear on that is that, not that I would, but you may rely on the seller's conveyance here to be right.
This is true, but they're the ones
Because
that.
you want to think of, when you, as a conveyancer, whenever you got documents, you knew the second guess being document, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Same with the info pack.
yeah.
At least when I have the info pack, it is me inputting it, my errors, my bad.
Mhm.
When someone else has inputted the price, the options, and everything else,
Yeah.
you really, like you would manually, have to go through it with fine tooth comb and not give too much space.
Definitely want to check your information.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, because you're still acting for the buyer.
It just
You still have
saves
to
the
check.
step of you doing it and then reviewing it, or you doing it and then sending it to the other side for them to review.
Yeah.
They're kind of doing the information you review, and if there's any, of course, incorrections or anything that needs to be amended, then you can just give them a call or
How
message
many
at that
firms
time.
are actually using the program this way?
Hamilton Duncan is the first one that's putting through, like a 400-unit development.
Okay.
Um,
And do you feel that you're actually asking for the buyer now? In essence, you're putting all the buyer's information in except for their name.
mhm.
So now, cost-wise, how am I thinking here? Like a buyer hires me to do their work for them, but really the seller now,
Mhm.
their lawyer's doing the work. So how does the seller's lawyer feel about doing that work then?
Mhm.
She's inputting this work so that, because there's such a huge volume of information that the seller's conveyancer has to gather to present to the developer. So there's spreadsheets, and it's just amazing the amount of, and how they keep track of all that information.
track of all of that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is all data entry so that at the end, she can produce reports by going into the reports section, just like we would for residential, and pulling up all these various reports that they need for the
So
developer.
it's way more beneficial as a developer.
Yeah.
But there's gotta be time on her end of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time invested.
There's a lot, that's what I'm
There's
saying.
a lot of time invested.
Mhm. But, for example, using the connections feature, like on a project side of things, after you've completed the deals, then you still need to do all of your discharges and all your builders lien holdback releases. And that takes a lot of time just sending out those notifications. So for example, if you go in on the seller side, and I can go in and send my builder's lien notifications on every lot
At once,
and then send,
400 units at one time,
and send, bam, done.
if you want.
So I know personally from working on projects myself in law firms, I would set at the fax machine for a day to send out all my discharge particulars on every single file.
Oh, yeah, that's why I think this is a great program.
Yeah.
For a developer point of view, from a seller.
Mhm.
I don't know what we're starting for.
There is a increase in price on a connected file. A regular purchase file is $37.90, and a connected file is, a connected project file is $44.90. So there is an increase because most of the work is done for already. Sensitive, yeah.
Mainly just the data entry and all of the adjustments and all of that you saw in your file already. It just leaves you with having to do the buyer side of the information, basically entering your mortgage and, yeah.
Have you asked the court answer? If they were going to be part of this, Carmen was going to do
They've
it.
done beta testing for
They've done it?
On the seller side, yeah.
On the counter,
On the
they
seller
do
side.
a lot of development.
Yeah.
And how do they find it then? Yeah, they do, or Vera,
Vera
right?
and Eileen, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have anything coming up right now.
Oh, okay.
So she did it over, I think it was in August, September, and October last year. Yeah. She put in like a few hundred lots or whatever it was on a development. Clark Wilson downtown has been our beta tester. They started with us from the very beginning of developing this project feature. And quite a few of the girls there have been using the program, and they're actually putting through development as well.
We're going in on Tuesday actually for an all-day
Yeah,
training.
another all-day session. So there's a few firms, but Clark Wilson was the one that kind of helped build it from getting feedback from a law firm point of view. Yeah.
If you access the seller and you have files, you go to see something, how do you handle that from the seller point of view?
That would then be just like any ordinary file, like you would normally do.
Yeah, any ordinary sale file, because I'm still in here on my sale file on my individual lot. So if they're not on, I would still, generate my documents, send them off to the other side, but I wouldn't be using the connections feature in the program. So kind of, yeah, but you can still utilize the program, because when you're doing the seller side of things over all the lots, because of how quick the entry is of the data, they still save time. And then it would just be like a regular file. If you're a seller or a buyer, however many times the other side isn't an e-conveyance member, you still have to do the documents the same way. Yeah. You guys have any other questions specifically about the buyer project side of things?
The seller file, how much will be per file,
Per lot, it's $59.90 per lot file. So they're keeping it as a per transaction
69 per seller?
for a seller.
The seller.
Yeah, yeah.
On a project.
On a project, yeah, not a regular seller file.
So for
That's
each
the same
lot,
price.
you're charging $59, so, and then the buyer is 44.
44, yeah.
16, the phone number, the 15 is the project.
Yeah, there was 15 when we first.
Oh, the template, oh, yeah. There's still
It
those,
was great, it was still great to use.
Templates is okay too. It just depends on what kind of project you're working on.
Yeah.
Templates is better, I think, if the lot size is smaller, like if you don't have 400 units, for instance, I think maybe up to 100 units would.
your files would kind of be like, this just organizes it 10 times better than having to copy those template files, because I would lose them, I would forget if I had named them, whatever, or then where to go to find them. Here, everything is so centralized that if you're dealing with 400 units, at least you have one place to go to get them all.
So you don't give a discount if you're the seller, though, it's $55 times 400 lots. That's a huge amount.
But because the program does such
Does
a
so much.
huge amount.
No, I realize that, like, you just said that you import it all in one as a developer. But then you actually have to go into each lot and do each lot.
No, you don't have to do each lot. Like this screen here, whatever you're entering in, like purchase prices,
You can do many at one time.
If you've got some that have the same purchase price or not, it's just as quick, it's just very quick to be able to enter that information in without literally having to go into each
Yeah.
sub-file and entering that in the properties tab.
I
And
thought
then
you were going to each
No.
file
No.
to do all that
So you
work.
make the master file with all the static information that's the same
like your
overall
tax
lot.
adjustments here, for example, I've entered them based on my unit entitlement. Well, it does the calculation automatically because I entered the unit entitlement already on each individual lot. So I don't need to do the calculation separately. Same with strata, parking, you can keep track of all of the stalls and the bike assignments and everything. So there's a lot of organization and like central
Yeah.
management in the program to make it easier for your development. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reports that you can generate alone are just amazing, but that's more on the developer side of things, yeah.
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 Well, it's a huge program. It's,
Mhm.
yeah, it's been years developing and research and.
Yeah, a couple of years it took
Yeah.
them to write it all, test it.
And right now, you only have one or two firms using it.
And TNT, yeah, they're
Yeah.
using it
Beta tag is actually officially coming out this week,
this week, yeah.
which means that we're now comfortable with the program and getting it going and so
Yeah.
that's why we're just in the initial
It's
stages.
just at the beginning stages, and the reason why we're having it here in this
Yeah.
location is because Hamilton Duncan has been
Yeah.
putting through their projects. We wanted to, of course, invite our members to
Yeah.
know about it, especially on the, just because of how different it is on a regular buyer file.
Sounds good.
It's on the way.
It's coming, Bart.